Hey everybody, Jeff Reinhart here again with you. Wrapping up a nutty week here. Tons going on in the LL League. Wanted to get all the football preview stuff out there, despite not having a ton of time. So here we go. Section 3 games. 3 league games and a non-leaguer. Let's dive in. Let's do the non-leaguer first. Why not? Interesting Lebanon County backyard kind of a game. In Fredericksburg, Northern Lebanon will welcome Palmyra. Interesting game because there's a lot of subplots here. Northern Lebanon 3-2 in the section. They step out of the section here for a week. They're 500. Right now they are on the other side of the bubble for AAA. So Vikes need wins. They've been tripped up here back-to-back weeks. Lancaster Catholic really bopped them at home a couple weeks ago by 40, and then Northern Lebanon had a crusher loss to Donegal last week, 35-34 in overtime on a missed PAT, and that had to be a crusher because I know Northern Lebanon was up a couple of scores at different points during that game. Donegal comes back, forces OT, and wins. Vikes need to get back on track, and they know they need at least one win, probably 2 here down the stretch if they want a week 11. They play Palmyra, coming off its first loss this season. Palmyra was 7-0 and ripped roaring and taking care of business. They finally got tripped up last week, so they're 7-1, and they have the #1 rusher in the Mid-Penn Conference, Preston Bear, who is a load apparently. Big dude with some speed, some breakaway speed, and he's having an unbelievable season running the ball for Palmyra. So remember the name Preston Bear. I think you're going to hear it a lot in Fredericksburg if you're over at that game on Friday night. So last year, Northern Lebanon was just housing Palmyra. It was total rout city. Palmyra turns on the Jets and came back all the way late and won it. I want to say it was like 47-45 or 47-46 or something crazy. But Northern Lebanon had them and just let them hang around and get back in the game, and Palmyra won it late. So I'm sure Northern Lebanon would like to erase that bad taste that's been stewing for 365 days. So that's an interesting game. Again, Palmyra's 7-1. They're right in the thick of AAA, and Northern Lebanon probably needs 2 wins here in 9 and 10 to make districts. Good Lebanon County game. Well, that could be a good section game someday. Palmyra at Northern Lebanon. All right, the Section 3 league games. Lancaster Catholic, Crusaders 4-0. Looking to clinch a tie here for section title number 7 in a row. There was a tie in there a couple years back with that last. They go on the road to Anvil. Little Dutchmen are 0-5 and struggling. Have not been stopping people. Gave up 41 to Elko last week. And this is Anvil's last section game, by the way. They have the Week 10 non-leaguer against Williams Valley from the Tri-Valley Conference. So Catholic, #1 in the league in points, 360. They scored 70 against Columbia last week. 418 yards a game for the Crusaders, 8-0. Only undefeated team in the LL, ranked 1 or 2 in every state poll in AA, and #1 in District 3 AA power points. The fun Crusader stat this week, Roman Clay and Brandon Hollister looking to become the first duo LL League backfield to rush for 1,000 yards each in back-to-back seasons. That's a fun stat. Roman Clay should hit it this week. He's at 964, 954 or something like that. Pretty sure he's got a 50-yard night in him. Hollister's a tick under 800, so he's got a little work to do, but Catholic has at least 3 games left, so if he has his usual knock-on-wood kind of games, Hollister should also crack 1,000 for the 2nd year in a row. So uncharted territory for Clay and Hollister. 1,000, back-to-back. Let's see if those guys can pull that off. Catholic at Anvil. Next up, Donegal, 3-1 at Elko, 2-2. Raiders playing better. Back-to-back wins over Peckway and Anvil. Cameron Strauss has been playing great. He had a 100-yard night last week. Dylan Hickernell had 3 touchdowns last week against Anvil Cleona. More importantly, I don't think the Raiders turned the ball over in that game. They've been keeping better care of the ball here. I know Anthony Pletz had some pick jitters early in the season, but he hasn't been picked in a while. So Elko doing some things. Up to 3 wins and 2-2 in the section. They have Catholic in week 10, so they'd love some momentum here. 3 in a row going into that game. Donegal's tricky though. 3-1 in the section. They have Columbia in week 10, and Donegal's right there on that bubble line for AAA. It's probably going to need to get to 6-4 to get in, so we'll see if Donegal can run the table here. Keep an eye on Johnny Martin. He needs 34 rushing yards for 1,000. And I want to mention Eddie Lazowski. He's been fabulous here the last couple of weeks, the fullback for Donegal. Johnny Martin and Dylan Maxwell have gotten a lot of headlines this season for doing halfback stuff, you know, 100-yard nights, 200-yard nights, 4 touchdowns. But Lazowski's been really good here the last couple of weeks. He had 3 touchdowns last week in the OT win over Northern Lebanon, over 100 yards. I think he's going over 100 back-to-back weeks, so keep an eye on the fullback, as always, in the wing T set, and Lazowski's been really good for Donegal. That's an interesting game, because Elko's hot, and Donegal's going to need 2 wins here probably to make district, so we'll see if Donegal can do it. Interesting game, Donegal at Elko. Last game, Section 3. Columbia 2-2 in the section, but 5 wins in number 1, District 3 Single A, but Millersburg is gaining. Keep an eye on that. They go to Kinzers to take on Pequay Valley. Braves are 1-3 in the section, and they've lost 4 in a row. Injuries. Columbia Mike Burke, probably going to miss this one. Was told on Tuesday that he'll probably dress for the Donegal game in week 10. And if that becomes a must-win, gotta-win to get home game in round 1 of districts kind of game, he could play perhaps in the Donegal game. But I don't even think he's going to dress here for Pequay. He's got the high ankle sprain. Columbia coming off the 70-28 loss to Catholic. 63-0 at half. Columbia scores 4 touchdowns on a running clock, which impressed me. I told you that the other day. But that clock running, that thing doesn't stop. Just for what? Change of possession. So to score 4 touchdowns like that, I thought was pretty impressive, and it made it a lot more respectable for sure. And I know Catholic was playing freshmen or whatever, but still, 70-28. Pequay injuries. Chris Schmidt, their terrific running back, who was the rushing leader in the LL earlier in the season, like first 2, 3, 4 weeks. Chris Schmidt was the leading rusher in the league. He has a knee injury. Confirmed that Tuesday night. He's done. Looks like an MCL. I don't know if he's going through the surgery thing or not, but he had an excellent season for Pequay Valley. He rushed for 1,000 yards last year, very under the radar because Pequay threw the ball so darn much last year, but came back this year again and had the hot start. I think he rushed for over 750 yards this season, so he was on pace to get 1,000 again. So tough loss for PV because they changed some things around this year and really went to that ground attack and became like a grinded out trench kind of team. And Mr. Schmidt was doing great, but he's done now with a knee injury. So PV, I don't know if they'll go AA with a 5-5 record. We'll have to look, because right now they're number 10, so they'd probably need some help. I'm sure they're only worrying about Columbia here. So interesting game. Injuries is a theme, unfortunately, but an interesting game nonetheless. Columbia, Pequay Valley. Okay, the Section 3 teams, the non-leaguer, Palmyra at Northern Lebanon. Good old Lebanon County game. A lot riding on that one. Vikings need wins. Lancaster Catholic and Anvil Cleona. Catholic's picking up steam and they're playing quite well. Could be some points in that one. Donegal at Elko. Donegal, bubble team for districts. 2 wins should get them in. Elko 2 in a row. Columbia, Pequay Valley. Tide looking to clinch that number 1 seed in Single A. Okay. Crazy week. I gotta go. I could be popping up anywhere around the District 3/LL League area over the next several days. If you see me, say hi. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it. LL League Football Week 9. Live blog Friday is E-Town at LS. Don't forget. Check me on the page about 6:30 or so on Friday from Lampeter. Thanks for tuning in this week. I'll talk to you guys soon. Appreciate it. See ya.